There was a moment, not dramatic or loud, just quiet and still, where everything felt uncertain. No roadmap, no guarantee, no one standing beside me saying it would all work out. Just a choice sitting right in front of me, waiting. That choice was simple, but terrifying. It was the decision to believe that something better was possible, even when nothing around me reflected that belief yet. Most people never talk about that moment. They skip straight to the highlight, the transformation, the result. But the truth is, every meaningful story begins in the dark, in the space between where you are and where you dare to imagine you could be. For me, faith was not just a word. It was the ground I stood on when everything else felt unstable. Every morning, I would open my Bible, not searching for a miracle, but searching for direction. Those quiet moments shaped how I saw myself and how I approached each day. Faith gave me permission to start before I felt ready. It reminded me that purpose is not something you stumble into by accident. It is something you pursue with intention, one small and deliberate step at a time. Without that foundation, I would have quit long before anything meaningful had a chance to grow. Alongside faith, I began taking my physical health seriously. I started incorporating organic aloe vera gel into my morning routine, something small but consistent. That single habit became a symbol of how I was choosing to treat myself, with care, with discipline, and with respect. Wellness was not about perfection. It was about showing up for my body the same way I was learning to show up for my purpose. I started walking more, breathing deeper, reading books that stretched my thinking. These were not grand gestures. They were quiet commitments that slowly rewired how I lived and how I led. Growth does not announce itself. One day you simply look back and realize you are no longer the same person who once stood frozen in uncertainty. I began encouraging other women around me, sharing what was working, listening to their struggles, and walking alongside them. Something shifted when I stopped focusing only on my own journey and started investing in others. Purpose deepened. Confidence grew. The connections I built were not transactional. They were genuine, rooted in shared values and a mutual desire to rise. That is when I understood that real leadership is not about standing above people. It is about standing with them. Speaking to a small team for the first time felt vulnerable. My voice was steady, but my heart was racing. Yet, something powerful happened in that room. People leaned in. They connected with the honesty, not the polish. They were not looking for someone who had it all figured out. They were looking for someone real, someone who had faced doubt and kept moving anyway. That authenticity became my greatest asset. The celebrations that followed were not just about results. They were about people discovering their own strength, their own voice, their own reason to keep going. Watching that happen never gets old. If you are standing in that quiet, uncertain moment right now, the one where everything feels too big and you feel too small, I want you to hear this clearly. You do not need to have everything figured out before you take the first step. You do not need a perfect plan or a flawless version of yourself. You need one decision. The decision to believe that your life can look different. The decision to invest in your faith, your health, your growth, and the people around you. My story did not begin with success. It began with that single choice. And if I can grow from nothing but belief and consistent daily action, so can you. Your story starts exactly where you are standing right now. One decision truly can change everything.